Hi, this is Sweet June. I'm coming back at you with another interesting video topic. Now, I know that I've done a video about um, reasons, 10 reasons to not be a single mom, and I've done video topics talking about single motherhood before, and I know I did one where I was talking about being when you become a single mother, it decreases your chances of getting married. Well, I did that video because I was basically stating facts. You know, it wasn't really based on opinions; it was based on facts. So, um, from what I can see, from what it seems like, you know, statistically and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of, you know, basing it on facts and just letting women know that, um, the more kids you have, um, outside of marriage, the more it increases your chances of becoming a single mother. However, with that being said, that doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with it. Just because I did the video stating those facts, that doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with it. I was just basically stating the facts. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think that if marrying, I happen to think that single mothers are good marriage material. When I was a single mother myself, I consider myself good marriage material. And there's a lot of single mothers out there that are good marriage material, believe it or not. Believe it or not. There are a lot of single mothers out there that are good marriage material. So, but single mothers have a decreased chance of getting married because a lot of times the men don't want to take on somebody else's kids. Now I'm not saying that's absolute. There are single mothers that do get married. you know. But I think like the more kids you have, what I was basically trying to say was the more kids you have, then you decrease your chances of that because a lot of men don't want to come in and take care of somebody else's kids and take on an instant family or whatever. Especially these men nowadays, maybe men back in the day, but we dealing with a whole different generation now. Um, but like I said, does not necessarily mean that I agree with it. Like I said, there's a lot of single mothers that are good marriage material. So I decided I was good marriage material when I was a single mom. So I decided to do a video, 10 good reasons to marry a single mother. I did some marinating. I was marinating. I was thinking about it. I said, I said, there's some good reasons. That's a good video topic. I said, there's some good reasons to marry single moms. So I kind of thought about it, marinated on it, and some of the good qualities. I thought about some of the good qualities I had as a single mother, and thought about some of the good qualities that single mothers do have. So believe it or not, a lot of single mothers, I'm not saying all single mothers, but a lot of single mothers are good marriage material, believe it or not. So these are 10 good reasons to marry a single mother. Reason number one, single mothers tend to be independent. Single women without children are independent too, but when a single mother has a different type of independence, we not only hold it down and take care of ourselves, but we also hold it down and take care of our kids. And we're independent, and we're able to do that on our own. In most cases, without the assistance of a man. You know, um, some of us do get governmental assistance, but in a lot of cases, off and on throughout the years, I got governmental assistance, but there was times where I didn't have governmental assistance and I did it on my own. And so we have that independence to where we can take care of our kids and we can take care of. I mean, we can go to work, pay all the bills, pay the bills, and even if you do, the single mother's getting assistance is not that much. I mean, primarily she's paying the rent, she's paying the bills, she's getting the necessities for the home, buying the children's clothes and all that kind of stuff, and taking care of things around the house and things like that. In most cases, it is without the assistance of a man. I know I did it many years without the assistance of a man, and I was pretty independent. So single mothers do have a tendency to be more independent in that sense. So that's a good thing. Um, if you married a single mother, um, you wouldn't have to worry about her relying on you for her every need. She has that independence. I think it's good for a woman to have a certain amount of independence. Um, Even if in situations to where the man is the primary breadwinner, I just think it's good for a woman to have a certain amount of independence, and not be totally dependent on a man. So that's a good thing. I consider that a good quality. Number two, single mothers are resourceful. Single mothers are very resourceful. I know that when I was raising my kids, I was very resourceful. There were times when, like I told many times I've stated before, we struggled a lot throughout the years. And times were really tight. There was times when things got really, really, really tight. And I always, you know, my kids never had to go miss a meal. We never had to, I mean, there was times when food got really, really, really low. But I always figured out a way to bring in the food. By the grace of God, I always figured out a way to bring food in. My kids didn't never have to worry about starving. I hear these cases where the children are starving, or the parent had to go without to make sure the children have. And I have to admit that while there were times where food was really, really short, my kids never missed a meal, and I didn't have to go without, and none of us had to go without, because I always figured out a way to make it happen. I always figured out a way. It was one way or the other, where by the grace of God, I always figured out a way to make it happen. Um, I even took a job one time delivering newspapers. When things got a little tight, and of course I only lasted 2 weeks, because when you deliver papers, you have to do it in rain, sleet, or snow, and you got to get them papers out no matter what, regardless of what the weather is or whatever. And then I was going out all times of the night, which I didn't think was safe. So I only lasted 2 weeks on that, and it's 7 days a week, and I just got burned out. Couldn't do it. But I did it for 2 weeks. So I always figured out a way, by the grace of God, to make it happen. Basically, to make it happen, to bring food in, even if it was going to the food pantries, or whatever. Rubbing two nickels together, or whatever. I always figured out a way to make it happen. My kids never had to go without eating. They never had to go hungry. So single mothers are very resourceful in that sense. Number three, single mothers can hold it down. Single mothers know how to hold down the fort. Single mothers know how to hold down the household. Single mothers can make the decisions, regarding the bills and things like that, and know how to pay the bills. And I've heard of stories of women being married for like 30 and 40 years, and the husband was the primary breadwinner, and then either the husband dies or they get a divorce, and the woman doesn't even know how to pump gas on her own. I've heard of cases like that, where the woman doesn't know how to do anything on her own. I mean, because the husband literally just did everything, and as far as taking care of the household, as far as like holding it down, paying the bills and all that. It's like the woman had, and in a lot of cases, the women had to go out and get a job for the first time in 30 years or whatever, because the husband was the primary breadwinner, and he took care of all the bills and all that kind of stuff. So she had to learn how to not only go to work and bring home the money, but she had to learn how to pay the bills and all that stuff. And so single mothers know how to do that. Single mothers know how to hold it down. They can pay the bills. They can, get the necessities for the home. Single mothers basically, we have to basically learn how to do it all. We have to learn how to do it all. We even have to learn how to make minor repairs around the house and pay all the, we pay the bills. And I know when I had my cars, I had to check my oil, and I had to learn how to check my oil. And I still don't know how to change a tire, but I'm going to learn. But stuff like that. And so, because, you don't always have a man around to do things. So, I had to learn all that and learn how to do all that. So single mothers can hold it down. And not only that, if you marry a single mother, and let's say if an event you marry a single mother and you get sick, and you have to be off work and you can't do anything, you bet your bottom dollar, if your wife was a single mother and she know how to hold it down, she's gonna know how to take over and get things done. She's gonna know how to hold down the fort. So that's something to think about. If you marry a single mom and something happens to you, that woman's gonna know how to hold down the fort. She's gonna know how to do it because she's had to do it before when she was a single mom. So that's something to think about as well. Um, Number four, single mothers in most cases are good cooks. You know, um, I'm a very good cook. I know a lot of single mothers that are good cooks because when you have kids, you got to do a lot of cooking. I never, fast food was the exception. It wasn't the rule in my house. So, I cooked because I've always loved to cook anyway, and I still love to cook. So, I would cook a lot of times cook hot meals for my kids, um, stuff like that. And because, like I said, fast food was the exception; it wasn't the rule in my house. So, and yeah, in most cases, single mothers are good cooks. Maybe not all single mothers, but in most cases, single mothers are good cooks. I know I was a good cook. Number five, are good at making major decisions. Single mothers are very, very good at making major decisions. Like I said, it goes back to what I said earlier. If you're married to a single mother and you get sick, um, and you're not able to make decisions or whatever like that, that woman that was a single mother, she can make major decisions for the household. She can make some of those decisions and everything that you're not able to make, or she can assist you in making some of those major decisions that need to be made, and everything, because she's had to do it so many years. Particularly if the woman was a single mother for many years, she's already had to do all that, so she knows how to make those decisions. So that's something to think about too. Um, Number six, good at multitasking. Single mothers are very good at multitasking. I've always been a good multitasker. I mean, when you're a single mother, you have to be. You kind of have to be. When you're a mother, period, you still have to be a good multitasker. But being a single mother, you got to work outside the home. You got to not only work outside the home, you got to come home. You got to do all the things, cleaning, cooking, doing laundry, and all those things inside the home. And on me, on top of that, I was going to school. I went to college for many years while raising my kids. So, in addition to working, so I worked, um, went to college, came home, clean the house, cook, um, do laundry and all that kind of stuff. So, single mothers pretty much have to do it all, you know. So, um, we had to learn the art of multitasking and being able to do things. I know one time I was cooking, doing my homework, and talking on the phone all at the same time. I mean, and I was able to get all that done. And sometimes I would multitask a lot of times, I'd be doing laundry, cleaning the house, cooking, doing homework, all at the same time, believe it or not. Believe it or not. But single mothers are experts at that. Um, you know, Single mothers are very, very good at multitasking. So, number 7, can work outside and inside the home. I mean, a lot of women can too, but single mothers, a single mother, 9 times out of 10, you marry a single mom. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, you're financially stable, and you say, "Well, honey, you ain't got to work. I'll take care of all the bills and everything like that because you making enough money to do that." And then you hold it down for a while. Let's say that you lose your job, or finances become a little tight. That woman that used to be a single mother does not have a problem with going out there and going to work. I mean, she'll probably 9 times out of 10 do it in a heartbeat. Will go out there and get a job and go to work and work outside the home and help bring in some money and everything, and then come home and still be able to take care of business around the house because she had to do it many years. Think about it, because she had to do it many years as a single mother. So it's not going to be nothing new to her. If she had to do it in a marriage, it's not going to be nothing new to her. If I get married and my husband say, "Well, you don't have to work, and everything. I'll pay all the bills," but then as things start getting tight and I got to take a job, well, I ain't got no problem with taking a job because I'm how many years have I had to do that? So I'd get out there in a heartbeat and take a job if I had to, if I had to, and contribute to the household or whatever like that. So single mothers ain't that's nothing new to a single mother, because she's had to do it many years. So um, she can work well outside the home and inside the home. Number 8, strong. Single mothers have a tendency to be very, very strong. This younger generation of single mothers, debatable. Some of them are very strong, um, but um, single mothers have to be stronger. Single mothers have to be stronger. Have to be strong because you have to be strong for their kids. They have responsibility for kids or raising kids on their own. So single mothers have to be strong. So if you married a single mother, you're dating a single mother, and she seems like she's holding it down really good and everything, and she seems to have it all together. Well, for a single mother, then you can bet your bottom dollar she's pretty strong. So you know, if something happens, you get sick or something like that, she's going to be strong and she's not going to be freaking out like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" She's going to be like, okay, she's going to instantly start taking charge, making decisions, figuring out the things what need to be done and all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to think about. Um, Number 9, not afraid to stay home alone. That's hypothetically speaking. Let's say that you're a police officer, or you're a truck driver. Jobs that require you to be away from home for long periods of time. Well, a single mother has no problem with that, because a single mother has, like some women, they may have a problem with a man being gone, or they may be insecure and be like, "Well, I know what you out there doing, and I know you ain't cheating on me or whatever." They may be insecure, or that some women may be overly needy to the point to where, um, if they were married to a man that had a job like a truck driver or a doctor or a police officer that required them to be gone for long periods of time, they might not be able to handle it. Mentally, they can't handle it, the man being gone that long. But a single mother, because maybe they weren't used to being by themselves or whatever, but a single mother is used to spending a lot, especially if she was a single mother for a long time without a mate. She's used to spending long periods of time and even days alone. You know, I know I am. I know that I could probably handle being married to a truck driver, or so. I don't know about a police officer. It's too stressful. Worried. I don't know about no police officer, but I can handle like somebody like a truck driver. I can probably handle being married to a truck driver because I'm used to being alone. I'm used to spending days and days on end by myself. I'm used to being alone. I don't have a problem with being alone because I've had to be alone many, many times as a single parent. So that's nothing new to me. So So yeah, single mothers are not afraid to stay at home by themselves for long periods of time. So that's something to think about too. That's a good quality. Number 10, good at budgeting and managing the family finances. Good single mothers are good at budgeting the money in most cases. I'm not saying in all cases, but in most cases, single mothers, I know how to budget money. Um, have I made some financial mistakes and bad decisions? Of course I have. But at the end of the day, there was many times that I've had to rub two nickels together, that I've had to take um, rob Peter to pay Paul, and I've had to take small amounts of money to get everything that we needed for the house or whatever like that. And I do know how to budget. I do know how to budget money. Um, when I get my check or whatever, I know I got to put a certain amount aside. I instantly start thinking, okay, I got to put this amount of money aside for this bill, this amount of money aside for that bill, and then think about if my kids came to me and said, well, Mom, I want this or I want that. Well, okay, is it a want or is it a need? If it was a want, do we really need that? No, we don't need it. So, because I always told my sons there's a difference between needs and wants. So if it's not something that we need, then that's money that can be allocated towards something else that we need. Especially if funds is tight, and funds had always been tight over the years while I was raising my kids. So um, wasn't able to really do a lot of saving, but um, just 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 managing the finances and making sure everything is paid. Nothing never got shut off. I never got um, anything shut off or nothing like that, because you know in most cases we do know how to manage and budget the money. I know that when I'm working and I'm driving, I even think about how much money I need. Like if I get paid every 2 weeks, well, I think about how much I need for gas over that 2 weeks. I budget it, and a lot of times I do it up here. I budget. I don't always have to write it down. I do it up here. I budget out the amount of money that I need for gas for the 2 weeks, the amount of money that we need for groceries for the 2 weeks, the amount of money that we need for necessities for the 2 weeks. But a lot of times when I get paid, I buy all of our necessities, what we need, at the time when I get paid, you know. And so, I take care of that at the time I get paid. But then I figure out, okay, well, how much, because everybody got to figure in, you got to figure in transportation costs, whether you're driving or whatever. And you got to figure in, the bills. Okay, well, this bill is due on this date. Okay, well, I need to take out this amount of money so I can pay this bill on this date. And so a lot of times I do all that up here, and I don't necessarily write everything down because I'm just used to doing that. So, single mothers have to have the budget, especially she was a single mother for a long time. She's had the budget and managed the family finances. So in most cases, when you marry a single mom, she's going to still know how to do those things, and she's still going to have those skills. So if you're not too good at budgeting and managing the finances, she can assist with that, and she would be really good at assisting with that. So those are some very good qualities that single mothers do have. Um, Single mothers have very, very good qualities. So those are 10 reasons, good reasons, to marry a single mother. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Now be careful, be respectable. If you disagree with me, you can state the reason why you disagree, but please be respectful, and you don't have to hurl insults at me. That's not necessary. Just let me know why you disagree, and whatever. So just let me know what you think. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. This is Sweet June.